So before I crack on with this video, I feel like there's an amendment that I need to make regarding my most recent unboxing, and that is, well, I was really frustrated that with the Reshes, you only had this one attachment point at the back, and this applies to all five of the, what are they called, Safari Resha. Well, there's this thing that you can unfold on the back, and then naturally you would tab it on the front, and then it'd just be this big pivot point here. And then I was bitching and moaning about how, they had to get their gimmick involved in some fashion. Well, it turns out at the time I wasn't really paying attention, and this tells you how much I remember about Toq-Oh. That is to say nothing. It turns out on the underside of all Reshas, regardless if it's the Safari Reshas or if it's, or are they called Jungle Reshas? Safari Reshas. Anyways, there's usually there's another little tab on the underside here that you flip open, and then you can pivot them like this. But again, they only fit on with gravity, and it's frictionless. So yeah, I just want to make a quick amendment about that one. Uh-oh, it's Diesel-O. No box, no instructions, just going to figure this one out all by myself. So first up we have the car carrier Resha. And the only problem that I've got with this particular eBay purchase, and that is a common complaint with the car carrier Resha specifically, is that the red vehicle, which is not supposed to be removable, had a tendency to pop off. And you can see a pair of pegs right there where the red car vehicle, whatever it's supposed to be, is simply not there. So, yeah, mine came without it, but it said that in the eBay auction. So, like, considering this is one of my least favorite Rashas, I don't really have a problem with it missing anything. So, yeah, here's car carrier Rasha, and it's just um, a thing. It's like a bus, I guess. Not certain. Oh, I didn't know that. All right. There's the copyrights or the trademarks right there. But then on the left side of the Resha, you could see there's a, what color is this? Pink? Yeah, there's pink right there. There's green, there's yellow, there's blue, and then there's red. Hey, look at that. It's the team's colors. Whoa. But yeah, you can't get to any of these, and none of these are supposed to come off. And the only thing that this can do is you can flip down this panel, and that's it. That's all that it is. It's just a ramp, and that's it. I have no idea what the individual attack on. Also, it's actually designed to sit comfortably like that. It just rests with friction, but still it can. But technically, it's supposed to fold all the way down. Presumably, it's supposed to go right there for whenever it does the thing it's supposed to do. Having never seen Resha Sentai Toq-Oh, I have no idea what the attack feature on this thing is, but I do know it's supposed to do this. So I believe it's the right arm that gets modified. And no, I do not have a Toq-Oh changer. Thank God I don't have to listen to that. It's like, fuck you, shut up, I don't care. And so I guess this would be Safari Ga-Oh, or what would this be? Car carrier Safari Ga-Oh? Oh yeah, I have to fold this thing out. Um, yeah, it's just a giant. It's just an arm extension. Like apparently, what's it called? Victory Robo ain't got nothing on this. Apparently, I don't know. What is it supposed to do? I don't know. Other than just look ridiculous. That's it. That's all it does. It's just this panel, and that's it. And that, if you're feeling saucy, I guess. So yeah, that's it. And then because of transformation, oh dude, I totally just missed the opportunity for a transformation uh thingy here. Come on, I want you to go up. Really? Okay, maybe it has something to do with this right there. Ah, that's what it is. Okay, there you go. So yeah, you can fold it upwards if you want to, because I don't know. Maybe that's how it works in the show. I don't know. But anyways, yeah, it can fold upwards and it can fold back down. And there's that. The car carrier Russia. Currently my least favorite of the Russias. Like, like all these others, like regardless of whether they're repaints or not, at least like they're kind of interesting to look at. Car carriers, like it exists, and that's all I really have to. Oh, are the cars themselves? Yeah, the cars all appear to be the same. Although these two on the top here are actually larger. Like even though they're shaped the same, for whatever reason, the blue and red ones that I totally don't have, by the way, they're actually bigger than the pink, green, and yellow ones. I'm not quite sure why they felt the need to put two different sizes in there. Probably just because of the space restriction on the inside there, or whatever it is. So, yeah. Now, of course, because you can attach the entire thing, you also need the ability to separate it. And as I just pointed out a few minutes ago, fold up this tab on the other side here, and then you can have it pivot in the center as you like. But again, it's frictionless. It just rests there with gravity, and that's it. There's no pegging there. Well, technically is pegged in there, but like it doesn't hold in any way, shape, or form. Don't even bother. But technically, I can do the following, just because, well, it's got similar attachment points on the back side of both halves. And by the way, this is the part that you plug into the Toq-Oh changer. This is what you plug into it. So it's got the little what do we call these things these days on the underside of vehicles? Like the trigger machines in the Dow fighters a number of years later had the exact same thing. So what are we calling these things nowadays? They're not barcode readers because, well, there's no bar and there's no code. There is a code. Technically, there's a code, but there's no bar. So like, what do we call these things now that Super Sentai's used them more than once? Anybody? Anyways, what you can do, and I do not believe that this is official, but like, whatever, is you can actually take both halves of the car carrier Russia and you can attach it to both arms if you wish. I would not advise attaching them to the legs though, because, well, you can't form a leg with either one of these, or you can't form a foot with either one of these. Except you can. Anyways, yeah, there's the car carrier Russia being something. And you can also take, let's see which one, that one. You can attach this. And keep in mind, Safari, I should point out, Safari Ga-Oh, as far as I'm aware, was never ever used in any Russia, would it be Russia Busso? I think that's what it would be called. Anyways, yeah, it was never ever designed for any of these things. It's not that it wasn't designed for it just because they're repaints. Well, mostly. But yeah, the Safari Ga-Oh never got involved in any of these combinations. Hey Ava, is the Safari Ga-Oh compatible with everything that the Toq-Oh is, even though it's a repaint? Is it compatible? Can you show us the combined form? Shut up. So next up is the tank Russia, and the reason it's called tank is because they are water tanks or fuel tanks or whatever it is that trains carry around in pressurized tanks. I don't know. So it's the tank Russia. Although, why does these Russia have cockpits on them? I'm not entirely certain. The exact same issue with the car carrier Russia. Why has that on the front? I don't know. Considering it's just a box car or it's a train car carrier flatbed thingy, or it's not flatbed, whatever. Why these have cockpits on them? I'm not entirely certain. So just roll with it, I guess. Anyways, yeah, Tank Russia has. Uh, it just exists. It's a little on the symmetrical side, kind of looks like, oh, hey, maybe you can separate them. It's like the front half and the back half look almost identical. So, yep. And the multi-tail is nice enough. Like, I've got no big issues there. You guys can't see it, can you? There we go. Now you can see it. Now you can see what's going on. Those highlights actually do get picked up by or they do get picked up by this kind of weird camera setting, whatever it is I've got. So I actually know that those highlights are useful for you people, so I gotta do that more often. And then the And unlike, as far as I'm aware, unlike the car carrier Russia, the tank Russia doesn't actually have a gimmick built into it, well, such as it was. Like other than the transformation and combination, no, it doesn't. It actually this one actually. Oh, that's weird. This one has the ability to. Does this also? Oh, okay. There's also a switch on the side right there. It's in black. It's right there. Pull back, and then the transformation can commence. So there's that. Pull it apart, and again, as I mentioned at the start, fold up this tab, and then you can attach the tank Russia accordingly. So yeah, this one actually has less features than the car carrier Russia, just simply because, well, the only feature that this had is just like a little panel that folds up and folds out, and that's it. This actually does less than, but for whatever reason, I tend to like this one more than that one, just because it actually looks like something. So for the Russia Busseau, for this one, you actually do want to deliberately separate them, although it doesn't say that you can't do that, but technically you are supposed to separate these. Or officially you're supposed to separate them. Attach it to that side. And attach it to that side, and I totally forgot what this combined form is called. And here we have technically Safari Gao tank. Well, they're water tanks. What kind of attack feature does it have? Well, it turns out these are actually giant boxing gloves. I'm not kidding. That's what they are. Let's see, does that mean that this has? Not really. No, it's kind of an implied fist right there, implied, but there's no hole and there's no like actual individual fingers. But like, it feels like there should be a fist right there, but there isn't. So, anyways, yeah, the tank Russia is used for boxing attacks, which nice try, I guess. Yeah, it's used for punching attacks. I think this might be arguably the most boring of the Russia the Russia accessories. Like even though I do not like this one, technically this has more feature than this one does. It's weird the way that turned out. Anyways, I was just checking on the wiki, and it turns out, because trains, I guess, you take the front of the tank Russia, and you take the entirety of the car carrier Russia, and let me get the name of this correct. This would be Safari Gao car carrier tank. And did I do this quickly? Yeah, I did. Yeah. So you are supposed to use the entirety of car carrier, but only the front half of the tank Russia. So that's Safari Gao car carrier Russia. And as I understand it, the naming conventions always start with the right arm first and then the left arm. So whichever combination you have, the name comes from the right side first, and then you add the left. So Safari Gao car carrier tank. Oh, right, forgot. Action feature. There we go. There we go. Now, how much did kids pay for these? Like $15, $20, $15, $20? Something like that? But not only could you buy each of these Russias individually, poor suckers, but you could also buy them in a combined set along with the diesel Russia, which I will now be describing. So this one arrived in the box without the box and without instructions. Wait, didn't I already say that? Yeah, anyways, I'm going to have to figure this out as I go, so. I saw that recently. These look so similar to each other. Diesel Russia. Gosh, I'm going to have to do a web search for this one. Because I don't know what it looks like. Oh, okay, I just found the hip joint. Stupid hip joints. Let's see, is that going? Oh, okay. Okay, that extends. All right. Okay, so is that right? No, that is not right. Okay, so it's like this. Okay, there we go. And then... Wait, clips from above? Really? Huh. No, it doesn't. It just plugs in. It does it about that way? No, it doesn't. Okay. Whatever. That thing I was talking about a number of minutes ago about how you can take the front of each Russia and you can make it articulate. Well, this one, I was wondering if you could do that with all of these. Turns out you can't do that. All that you can do really is just this front one. Oh, even then it can't. Oh, no, I did it. I pulled it at the wrong place. You pull it here. And then fold open that thing. So yeah, there you go. That's the only way you can actually make this thing articulate. But otherwise you have this huge frickin'... It's almost 1.5 feet long. I'm going to actually have to measure this thing out. Yeah, that's the only place you can articulate this thing. Except maybe on the back. You can do it there as well. Whoa! 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 Okay, so you can articulate the back. Take this off, and here's an unusual scenario. You have to flip out both. Yeah, there. You guys can't see it, sorry. So you have to flip the. You actually have to flip a peg out, and then you have to flip the corresponding hole out on the other half, and then you can. I gotta rest it on my arm. Oh, by the way, that tells you how long this thing is. It's actually longer than my forearm and hand. And then you can have that articulate on the back. And again, it does not, it technically it pegs in, but there's no friction, there's no way to hold it, so, yeah. That, and that, put that back on. And wow, that's really fragile. And there you have the diesel Russia. Technically, this whole thing is a Russia all by itself, so. And yes, technically I'm showing you the bad side. I must admit, of the 3 Russias that I've gotten just now, aside from the fact that this actually has an impressive length to it, although not necessarily girth, I actually like the decorations on this one a lot. I love the front of this thing. I kind of wish that the next time that Super Sentai messes around with a train, or at least the head of a train, the front of a train, a locomotive or whatever it is, I sincerely hope that they make like a dog out of it. I don't know why, but that's just kind of the feeling that I get out of the diesel Russia. I gotta switch hands. That is really... Eek. It looks like a dog to me. I don't know why. I like the way these piston sections are actually in a V shape. So there's actually some indent on the outer side of either one. So that's nice. See, can you see more? Yeah, you can see more this way. Ah, but unfortunately, focus issues. Why is it focused on the back? I need a new camera. Oh, God. So see, how do you... Can these not? No, they can't. Okay, anyways, moving on. Ah, it's covering up my screen. I can't see what I'm doing. Theme from Spaceballs, anyone? And then there's another thingy on the back you can fold down, and you can attach another Russia to the back. And it doesn't look all that different. As we all know in Super Sentai, the left or the right side is usually the crappy side, and the left side's usually the good side, because the right side's usually the one where all the screws and stuff are located, so whatever. But anyways, I gotta point out something else. Really? That does not come off? You spent all this time There we go. Okay. Oh, and that extends as well. Okay. So the two box cars on the back. So like technically this is an entire train, even though it's just one Resha. Case in point, these. Let's see, do these come? Yeah, they do. Okay, so let's see. I thought that the orange component had a. Boy, it's very compartmentalized. Very surprising. Okay, so I guess the orange one doesn't have it, but the blue one definitely does. This boxcar, there's a door right here, and you can slide it back to reveal. What is in here? Absolutely nothing. It's just empty. There's nothing in there except for the boring. I guess it'd be burgundy, which, by the way, is a nice color to have in Super Sentai. They mixed it up, so okay, whatever. So, anyways, you can have that boxcar door can slide back and forth, and it snaps into either position. So, okay, it's something, I guess. How many components can I actually break this down into? 2, 4, 6, 7 components. Wow, that's actually impressive. Why did I just unhinge my camera? So yeah, there's all the components right there. Why did I just pull the camera off? Okay. So it's and technically the only piece that you're expected to attach to the is that right? I think yeah. Technically the only piece that fits into the Toq-Oh changer is just the very front because it has a little reader device. It has the oh where is it? Yeah, there it is. Okay, sorry. Can't see it on screen. It doesn't exist. There's the car reading thing or whatever it is. Does this turn? That's strange. I thought that it had a rotating fist. I know the other side does, but for some reason I thought this did as well. Okay. You know what? It's already in pieces. Might as well just keep it this way. Okay, so for the transformation, you want to, if I understand correctly, want to break it down into 3 components: the front and the back. So you break it down into those components, and then this component here, which is the center of it. So this is what you want to break it down into these 3 parts. In order to make Diesel-Oh specifically, you break it into these 3 parts like this. Well, first thing I'm going to do is that and that. And then this does, let's see, the same which way. And oops. All of a sudden I feel like I have those backwards if it's doing that. Unless it can fold the other way. Ah, okay, it can fold the other way. Alright. So I don't remember if this is the only thing that holds this together. Maybe it is. Not certain. God, is that the only thing that holds these 2 pieces together? I'm gonna research because like that's disconcerting. God, I hate YouTube reviewers. Or at least I hate the most of the Super Sentai and Transformers ones. I'm not gonna say which ones, but like just. Okay, so there's 2 black clips. There's one on either side. There's one there. There's one there. It doesn't, as far as I'm aware, it does not matter which one you fold down. The point is you fold down one of them, and you snap that into place, and then you use the head to secure the. Is this right? Yeah, it is. Use the head to secure the upper half. Okay, that's much better. Okay, and then officially the head reveal. Snap that into place. So that's the Diesel Russia. And then for these 2, remember those 2 cockpits I was telling you about earlier that make no sense whatsoever? So you take that, you fold it up, take that, you fold it up, and that's it. That's the transformation. You just fold up those 2 things. And can you believe it, folks? This was 2014 when these came out. Etch those to the bottom, split, because that's totally an important thing. This panel folds out. This panel folds out. And there you have, ladies and gentlemen, the leggy beast that is Diesel-Oh. And yet again, a missed opportunity for elbow articulation in a very obvious place, because you see they separated exactly the perfect place where you could have elbow articulation. But no, that was not a priority with these people. It was just this. And honestly, I wish the arms were not quite leaning outwards quite as much. Like if they want to lean out as much as this, they want to angle it this much, that's fine. But come on. And I must admit, despite the pixelation here, I really actually do like not only the head design, which is really nice, but I also love how this exposed engine component right here, whatever it is, and it's chrome plated, or it's the plastic faux chromium or chrome plated plastic or whatever it is. So it's like, it's just that little bit. I kind of wish that it was paint, that there were some parts that were painted, like if they could paint in whatever and techie details, I don't know. Like I kind of wish that like they could do some highlights here, whatever it is. But the fact that they even put chrome anything in there is like, okay, all right, I'll give you credit for. Okay, sure, fine. Okay, yeah. Still missing those elbows. They're in perfect places. They're literally the perfect place for an elbow, right there, and yet they didn't. So I mean, they'll do this stupid little fold out shit, and it'll turn side to side, but they just flat out refuse to give it an elbow that would point forward. Even I would have expected even like 45 degrees. That would have been okay, because like elbows, like okay, whatever, but just nothing, absolutely nothing. And don't tell me they didn't have the budget for it. This is 2014. Okay, they definitely had the budget for it. It's just lazy. Oh, speaking of lazy, I forgot something. No, I did not. Speaking of lazy, there's a fist right there, but there's no wrist articulation. Although it does have the copyright information on the back of it, right there. So whatever. But no, the only form of articulation is these hip joints. Now, because I got mine secondhand, they're a little. The springs have probably lost a little bit of their bite over the years. But yeah, the fact that I mean, okay, fine. It is necessary to put a leg split on this one. But like with Toq-Oh, it's really obvious that like there's a huge thigh gap in there or whatever it is, and that's fine. That's all well and good. But like at that point, why do you need the legs to split? Because you need to break up the uniformity. Oh yeah, that's really going to make a big difference. But like with Diesel-Oh, on the other hand, by the way, these are pretty much the same size. Diesel-Oh was oh so slightly shorter. Actually, no, technically, if it wasn't for the, actually, no, I can make a little more room here because you can actually see how tall they are. Um, they actually are, yeah, Diesel-Oh, the top of Diesel-Oh's head matches the top of Safari Ga'o's or Toq-Oh's shoulders. So technically, Diesel-Oh is taller in the head height department, but toy height overall they're the same. Although Safari Ga'o technically wins out because it has this little bit of combiner kibble sitting on the top here. So technically this is taller, but technically you don't need that to be there. So yeah, just pitch. So yeah. So they're in a good scale with each other. I've heard that's actually one of the things that's good, or just rather convenient, about the Resha from Toq-Oh is that, or the Mecha, I'm sorry, from Toq-Oh, is that they're all really in good scaling with each other. At least up until you get to the very last one, which I don't even care what the name of that thing is. I do not care. But unfortunately, Diesel-Oh actually suffers more from this next one than the Toq-Oh does, and that is it's really wide and nice from the front and whatever, and like the proportions are good. Little thin legs, I guess, whatever, and the feet are really small. But when you turn it sideways, it basically just disappears. Let's see, I'll turn it this way. It just disappears. That's it. You don't know there's anything there. You turn it sideways. Oh, hello. Hi, I'm Diesel-Oh. How are you today? But yeah, you turn it sideways and just the only thing that sticks out of the feet, Literally, that's the only thing that sticks out. So, yeah, I don't even like that tiny little panel that you fold out earlier. That's nothing. So, yeah, this is one of the problems I've got with the Toq with the Russia series. Yeah, the shoulders ratchet every 45 degrees all the way around. And because of convenient transformation, technically you can ratchet these every, I guess that'd be technically every 45 degrees, even though they start out at not at like, these are what, 20 or 25 degrees or something like that? I don't even. But yeah, technically you can get those out to the side. If you want to get a little more out of it, actually more because of transformation, you can get it all the way up like this. I also appreciate the fact that they added in some extra panels that fold out on the side here. I'm actually, you know what? They're just thin panels. That's all that they are on either side. But like, yeah, I appreciate that they like. Let me put it to you this way: if they'd done it this way and then just kind of put some decorations on the top, they're just kind of painted or molded in or whatever, it wouldn't. The shoulders would have just kind of like, okay, exists, whatever. But when you put that little extra injection of color and just like visual flair of some kind, yeah, it helps out a little bit. It actually does. Now, granted, these panels are really stupid because they're panels, but that being said, I actually do appreciate it. And they also put some additional gold paint sticking out either side, which is interesting. Now that I think about it, you've got the big diesel block right there, which is actually technically up there as well, and then you've got exhaust pipes from coming out of the side torso, the shoulder joint, across the shoulders, and then up to the outside here, and the exact same thing coming out the other. So I guess in the show, this thing is basically Greenpeace's worst nightmare because it's got two exhaust pipes right there, and then it's got like an additional three sticking out either side of its shoulders. If it wasn't for the fact that these were flat, I would have said, "Whoa, that is badass." I actually do like that. That is a cool detail. And the torso is just kind of nondescript, blah, whatever. Can these fold out any farther? Nope. It's just boring, flat, whatever. I wonder why they didn't mold that, because very clearly made in separate pieces. I wonder why. I wonder why the back of Diesel was not mold, or the back of the torso was not molded in black plastic. Because they've got it for the bottom of this one and the bottom of this, and yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, and then you've got the two additional Russia right here right up against the hip joint, I guess. So like, I'm wondering why. But here's the weird thing. I don't know how well you can see it. Probably not. But there is black paint along the side here. Is that paint or plastic? That is. Oh, it's plastic. And then that's paint. Yeah. So I don't know why they. I'm not saying it's a bad idea. Oh, I kind of see why. Who are we kidding? Super Sentai Robos, they always get the shaft when it comes to being painted on the back. They just do not give a shit. They really, really don't when it comes to the back of these things. So, I guess I can't complain too loudly. I mean, if you think about it, the Ranger costume or the Ranger armor suits over the decades, usually the details on the back or like the underarm or like whatever are usually significantly lacking unless there's like a specific detail they want you to notice. The back of them are usually fairly neglected, so I guess I shouldn't complain too loudly. There's a pair of wheel trucks to either side of Diesel's head that have been painted in. Now they don't even have actual wheels there that the Diesel Rusher rolls on, but it's just they took the nose or they took the cockpit of the train or the diesel locomotive. They took the cockpit and it's sitting up here, and then it has pipes coming out to either side, which kind of looks like the horns of a ball. And then there's tracks on either side. Oh wow, that's totally. That's actually a lot more. Huh? How about that? They actually tried to get like the front view of the. They actually tried to like incorporate the entire front view of the diesel Russia into the front of into the head, and I'm just now noticing this. I thought it was just like okay, it just looks like the head of a Super Sentai robot, whatever. That's what I thought. But now looking at it in person and actually being able to tilt it and look at it from slightly different angles compared to pictures, I'm like, oh, they actually did try to get the Diesel Russia's just the front silhouette of the Diesel Russia into the head of Diesel-Oh. I didn't know that until just now. That's actually a neat idea, and the reason I recognize this is because there's a pair of trapezoids to either side. There's silver painted trapezoids to either side of the head, like they're the cheek guards or whatever it is. That's what they are. And I was trying to figure out why it is that the Diesel Russia has the exact same trapezoids that are painted and they're prominent on the front. You can see right there. I don't know what I know it's a real feature of real diesel locomotives. I just don't know what they're called or what they do. I thought they were like whatever, and you can see them right there, kind of. Let's see, maybe if I get some contrast. Yeah. Anyways, there's a pair of trapezoids on the front right there that are incorporated into the cheek guards of the face. I like that. So yeah, I didn't notice that until just now. And I also just realized they managed to sneak some of the pale or some of the cyan blue or whatever it is from the left arm. They managed to sneak it over into the right arm because that's the color of the cockpit of the Diesel Russia. It's the exact same color of blue. I don't believe there's any actual blue plastic over here. Yeah, it's all painted. So they succeeded in migrating, and the reason I noticed that is because it's cyan over here for this arm, but then there's a little stripe of orange right here. So it actually is slightly cross compatible or whatever it is. I'm like, huh, okay, I like that. So Diesel-Oh's a little more competent than I thought it was. I'm like, huh. The pipes coming out of the engine blocks and the extension of the colors on the over here and the way the face is, does the face and the forehead are designed, like, huh, this is a little more complex than I gave it for originally. Now keep in mind these are just paint details and slight sculpting details, or it's greeblies or whatever. That's all well and good. I wonder if there's some way they could have changed up the colors of the cars on the top of the car carrier Russia, because I mean, there's just a little block of red and a little block of regular ordinary blue right here. I wonder if they could have changed it for like green and pink, or just to mix it up somehow. I doubt it, but you're telling me that that thing has. No, it doesn't. Okay. I actually wonder what these cars are supposed to be on the car carrier Russia. I don't know what those are supposed to be. So, hmm. I should also point out, just because this is secondhand, I can see, yeah, there's a number of scratches and dings and whatever, and the paint applications all over the place. So, like, I'm not going to be mad about that. That's what you get when you buy secondhand. I'll be honest. I don't remember if it's. I don't think it's Diesel-Oh that started the trend, but it's certainly one of the more prominent of examples of where they tried to do it regularly. And I really should pull up the wiki, because I want to take a look at how many times they actually do this. There's something interesting about Super Sentai, and they didn't. It's kind of a weird trend, but it's not necessarily a bad trend. Super Sentai has this tendency, or at least nowadays in the last maybe 7 or 8 years, they have a tendency to take all of the accessory vehicles, the accessory, the Busso, the the accessory armaments or whatever it is, and then turn those accessories into their own robot. Now, the first example I can think of off the top of my head would be Bokinger with the Dai Tonkin, which took all of is that right? All of them? Yeah, it took all five of the oh gosh, what were they called? Go-Go vehicles, took all five of the accessory Go-Go vehicles and turned them into a single robot. Now that Robo, I want to say that the Daitaken was the movie exclusive, or at least the combination of them was movie exclusive. But the accessories themselves are like available all the time. They're regularly seen in the series. But Daitaken was kind of the first one. I'm trying to think of other occasions where not really, because like the only one I can think of might be like that predates Daitaken would have been Max Oja from what would it be from Abba Ranger, where they took the accessory Bakuryu and then they plug it into the secondary robo. So it's kind of the same thing, but I don't really want to give Max Oja that much credit. That might be the first example. I could be mistaken. Is there an earlier example? No, not really. Let's see. I'm just going to go down the list and let's see. Let's see. Go-Onger. Go-Onger would be. They're right. Yeah, because Go-Onger had. Whatchamacallit? Go-Onger would have Gunboro, which was Corrugator and oh, by the way, a car carrier. By the way, a car carrier vehicle would be Corrugator and then Burka and Gunford. So which are two accessory vehicles, even though they're controlled by the, the 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 Rangers. Technically, they are accessory vehicles. So technically, officially, they are accessory vehicles. But anyways, so there would be Gunboro is another one. Let's see, Shinkinger. Does Daitank or no, not Daitank. Crap. What was that one called in Shinkinger? The stupid bird thingy. Was that Daitanken? Oh, it was Daitanken. Yeah, so Daitanken and then the Ika Tenku Buster from Shinkinger. Both of those technically are using they utilize all of the accessory vehicles into their own unique combination. Although the Daitanken is technically an accessory or is a secondary robo. Technically, even though it's a bird, yes, it is it's an accessory based robo, I'll say. So there's the Dai Tenku, and then the Ika Tenku Buster is just a cannon form or whatever it is. Sucks mightily. Okay, Spino Dio. No. Well, I guess it could be, but then I'd also have to include Bakureno from Abaranger. I don't know if I want to include that in the list or not. I'm not certain. It's not because like, oh god, I don't like that one, but just because like I'm thinking right now, I don't think that Spino Dio would count as this. I don't think it would because it's not nothing but accessory vehicles, Because well, maybe it is. Maybe it is. And then we've got Tokuger and then Ninja. No, Ninja did not do that. Juoger. With Juoger, you had actually my favorite, or the only one, I shouldn't say favorite, but the only one of any of those robos that I liked that was the Juo Wild. That was another, all accessory thingy. So and it was the only combined form that I actually genuinely sincerely liked. So even though I've got Wild Tosai King, still that's the only like standalone robo that I actually liked in Juoder. So yeah, Q Ranger. There was what was that called? I knew the name of it. I just can't think of it. Ryuteo, which had the Ryu Voyager, which well, I guess that Ryuteo does count because you have both the primary and the secondary robo at the same time. but it's controlled just because of the way the Q Ranger operates, because you have 9 Rangers, well, 10 Rangers at that point. Is that right? Let's see, there was 9. Yeah, you had 10 Rangers at that point. No, you had 11 Rangers at the point. I'm sorry. Such as Q Ranger. Um, so I guess the Ryuteo does count as, taking accessory vehicles and plugging them into a secondary hero robo. Or, yeah, so, okay, I guess Ryuteo would do that. Ryuteo's ugly. I don't know what I was thinking when I got that thing. Yeah. And then it remains to be seen. Like, I think Zenkaiger, which is the 45th anniversary, which is only had its first episode last weekend, remains to be seen if they have any accessory vehicles. Although at this point, I don't think they're doing accessory vehicles. It's far too early to say at this point for the 45th anniversary if they will use accessory vehicles. I don't think they will. Like they might do like weapons or they might do an armor attachment thing of some kind. I doubt it. I'll just say it remains to be seen if Zenkaiger actually does that. So yeah, I kind of like the trend of having a secondary robot that's made up of none of the original components of the first wave robot, but they can serve alongside each other early on. So I actually do. It's not something that they do all the time, but they do it frequently enough now that it kind of needs to be considered. Where you have accessory vehicles that form a secondary robo that appears still in and about maybe the second quarter of a series. So it's kind of a trend that, like, okay, all right, I can, that's not bad. That's not a bad thing. So I kind of like it. Although it does beg the question: if it takes 5 Rangers or 3, if it takes the entirety of the core team to control the robo like this, the question becomes who controls the secondary robo? And if you divide the team into, like, 3 over here and 2 over here, or 3 over here and 2 over here, does that lessen the combat capability of both robos because you don't have a full team going at the same time? Um, Before Power Rangers in 1993, there were a number of examples where the lead robo fell away at some point, and then they had a secondary robo that was used exclusively for like the remainder of the series. Because I've never seen any of those, I do not know if both robos before Power Rangers served together at the same time. I'm not certain, so I'm not going to comment on it. Although it would be. The other thing is that, again, they're not using accessory vehicles because that wasn't until 2001. So it's kind of similar, but what I'm talking about specifically is where you have accessory vehicles. Um, yeah, accessory vehicles becoming their own secondary robo. That's what I'm talking about specifically, which can serve alongside, which does not use any of the components from the first wave robo. So, yeah, it's kind of a nice thing, whatever it is. Boy, I've been taking way longer about this than I thought I would. All right, let's put this thing together. Blech. What am I going to call this thing, by the way? Cho Reshigatai Cho Safari Gao. So it'd be Cho Safari Gao. That's what I'm going to be making, which, by the way, is possible just because repaint, hello, but never appeared on screen. In other words, this is toy exclusive. So I'm going to be doing the Cho Safari Gao. Cho Safari Gao, right? Yeah, Cho Safari Gao. I'm gonna have to pull up a picture because, again, I don't have the instructions and it's kind of a convoluted thing. Let's see. Oh God. All right, so let's see. I'm gonna be selfish and turn these around. And then those go to the outside. Ow! God, that's tight. Holy shit. I don't know why, but I have such a problem pulling the Panda Russia out of there. I don't know why. It's just really tight. Not sure. Okay, so get rid of this. And I gotta take the tail off. Fold the head away. Yeah, that's it. So that's ready. Okay, so here comes the part that I'm not entirely thrilled with. So there's a pair of clips on the side of Car Carrier Russia and Tank Russia that you have to fold out. You can't see any of those. Just take my word for it. They fold out, snap into place, and then, oops, where do these bend? Bends, oh, right. Flick the switch, because that's totally important. Then you fold that up, and the switch, fold that up, and then, oh boy, here's where it gets stupid. And here's part of the problem, because this is Safari Ga-Oh specifically, the colors are just going to be completely wacky. So, yeah. And for the record, that is the stupidest combined form I've ever seen. And again, it's that thing where, like, it's okay to have trains that are lined up side by side, but could you not have, like, the trains, I don't know, like, stack on the front? Or maybe separate and form, like, platform shoes, which is really popular, and then, you know, kind of a big old chunk on the front. Like, anything other than this. Anything other than this. And oh, by the way, your combiner ports are, like, totally exposed, or your Busso ports are right there. Yeah, I have no respect for that. Just none whatsoever. And it doesn't even look good from the side. It just, oh god. Do I have to fold the cockpits down? No, I do not. Although, oh god, I just had a terrible thought. Let's fold the cockpits down. Oh, hey, look, we totally have knee guards now. Look, see? We've got armored knee guards. Hooray! How do you fuck up trains? That's how you fuck it up. That right there. That right there. Just, oh, that's why these are here. Okay. So that tab that's ordinarily used, which you totally can't see. So that tab, where is it? There it is. The tab that you ordinarily fold out right there. Oh, hey, you can see it now. I said earlier you have to fold down one of the two. Ouch, hurt myself. And then, you know, you can tab these two together. Well, now you're going to be folding out both of these tabs, and you're going to be folding out a shoulder connection point. Which, by the way, technically, does that make these arms? Now that I think about it. Let's play around with this for a moment here. Imagination! Oh my god, look what I just found. Oops. Because those are right. Oops, come on, get in there. Alright, because they're not square. Oh my god, what have I just discovered? Fold the other way. Pull that out. Yeah, because that turns like that, and then right, and then loosen that. Oops. Oh yeah, that reminds me, the diesel Resha does not have a combined form all by itself with Toq-Oh, or Safari Ga-Oh as the case may be, but I think I just totally discovered what you could do with it. So, technically, would this be Safari Ga-Oh diesel? Is that what this would be? Because, I mean, it's not like it doesn't have huge arms that are combined with the other ones, but, like, you know, like, it could be done. Is this technically a combined form that they chose to abandon? Because, like, these are hanging, these are flopping loose, whatever, but, like, I should point out, you know, it does have a shoulder joint, and technically, here's the tragic part, and I do mean tragic, technically it has ratcheting elbow joints, and the fist, well, actually the fist is on the end, okay, whatever. So, technically, Safari Ga-Oh Diesel has ratcheting elbow joints. Can these turn? Which can turn? Think about that for a moment. Think about that. I mean, I mean, it's literally the arms are the opposite of where they ordinarily go for Cho Toq-Oh. Literally, you just because ordinarily this is over here, you just take this and stick it over here. And the only thing I have to do to finagle with this is, ooh, get in there. The only problem that exists is that the shoulder is not tilted outwards. But damn it, I forgot there was a joint there. Get in there. Oh, okay, we're gonna do that. Okay. That's just because I don't know the toy well enough. So it's like, oh, where do I hang on? It's like, the only thing you have to worry about is you get the arm out a little bit. Oh, by the way, there's another joint right there. So technically you can have the arms fold outwards at the shoulder because there's the shoulder right there. Think about that for a moment. I mean, I know I'm only like, how long? Yeah, 14. Yeah, so I'm 7 years behind in figuring this out, but still. And look, he can even do this. He can literally do this. And there's the hole for the hand for Diesel-Oh. Where is it? There it is. Yeah, see? So Safari Gao Diesel can do this. And it could also do this. Well, technically the fist is backwards, but so technically it's doing this. But still. You know, I have to wonder if, you know, a diesel combination, you know, a diesel Busou or Resha Busou involving just the diesel Resha was involved at some point. Because look how easy it was for me to figure that out. And I didn't look at the instructions because I don't have any, and I haven't watched the show, and just, I wonder if this is like a missing mode that they just kind of abandoned. Because all you would need to do is just have these click a little bit out to the sides, and that's it. And considering how long these arms usually are, it's really not that far off. Or if you were to attach the car carrier Resha, yeah. If you attach the car carrier Resha to an elbow, which would be, yeah, it'd be right about there, the length of them is not all that different. Am I only just now discovering what everybody else knew 7 years ago? Okay, so here it is, mid-morning the next day, and I'm actually like middle of editing right now. Well, actually more than middle of editing. I'm like 2/3 of the way through editing, and I've just gotten to this part, and I'm like, you know, it's interesting how last night I figured out that you could do this, and then you have ratcheting elbow joint, or you have a shoulder joint, and then you can turn the arm to the outside, and then you can turn the arm like this, okay? But then I realized, oh yeah, these come off. So there's two things that I noticed. The first is that these things come off, and the second is that they have a very, very convenient shoulder joint right there, which makes me wonder if they were actually going to do this. And these are literally just Diesel-Oh's arms. That's it. That's all that this is. And I totally attached them on the wrong sides. Because for whatever reason, you can take that shoulder joint and you can flip it around to the opposite side. I'm not quite certain why they did it that way, but they did, so whatever. So you can also do this with Diesel-Oh's arms. So I'm not exactly certain what the naming convention would be. I guess technically this could be considered, or maybe keep these folded in because you don't have the same coloring. But like maybe this would be Safari Gao Diesel. That could be Safari Gao Diesel, I suppose. And you know, Toq-Oh Diesel accordingly. But there's another one you can also do as well, just because you can break these down even further, and you can use the Reshigatai ports as well. So essentially, you take the very back of the Diesel Resha and you take the very front of the Diesel Resha, and you use the exact same combination. Oops. And the exact same combining conventions that are already used. And then this could be an alternative to In this case, it would be Safari Gao Diesel. Now, granted, you're not going to have any combined form, but like, I guess they thought that like with the tank Resha, which is this, I guess they thought with the tank Resha, there wouldn't have been any justification for like boxing gloves or like an energized punching attack of some kind, because like a giant diesel engine block right there, and then whatever this is over on the other side. No, by the way, you've got a hand right there. Like, I guess they felt like doing, if you already have the tank Resha doing the punching thing, do you really need to do the diesel, um, the diesel Resha combined form, whatever it is here? So yeah, you actually can do like two different combined forms, and it's all built in. Like, here are the two shoulder blocks right here. I'm just scratching my head. I just woke up like a half hour ago, whatever it is, and I realized this while I was editing. So like, yeah, you can do this as well. My question is, why would the back half of the diesel Risher, why would it have the ability to, or why would it have that Reshigate joint? Oops, I'm gonna lose this. Why is that there? I don't know. And then I had this just terrible, awful, horrible, no good, very bad feeling last night when I realized this may very well be the prelude to what is it called? Good Cool Kaiser VSX. Is that right? Yeah, Good Cool. Yeah, Good Cool Kaiser VSX. No, it's not Kaiser's. It's Striker. Kaiser. Yeah. Yeah. I'm still waking up, folks. I'm sorry. So it's like this actually occurred to me last night, but like, because you got the arms that can fold out to the side. You can do this, and then actually there's a little bit. You can take advantage of the little hip joints. So like, I don't know if this was intentional or not, but um, I only have a one-word response to it, and that is imagination. You know, why does that have a ratcheting joint on it? That's so, or why does it have a special lock for it? It's so stupid. It doesn't even take any weight. Okay, so I'm completely distracted. But the point is, whoa. Yeah, maybe it does take some weight. It's stupid either way. Alright, where was I? So yeah, anyways, we're gonna fold out both of these little black tabs. And stick it in the shoulders, which is what I was doing up until a moment ago. I wonder how weird this is going to be with Safari Gao, because like that's kind of the thing you have to deal with like movie exclusive repaints and such. Is like if you attempt to do any combined form with them, it screws them up a bit. Let's see, does this tilt inwards? I wonder why they did it like that. Okay, so yeah, so these are cannons. All right, over the shoulder cannons. Woohoo! Okay, so you want to turn it this way. And by the way, I should point out, you can absolutely flip those around if you like to. Although, let me double check. Which way do they go? Okay, so underside to the inside. Okay, so you want to have the underside of the trains to the pointing towards the center. But for whatever reason, the instructions are saying to do it like this. No, 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 no. Nah, you want those cannons pointing forward. Fuck you. Okay. And then reattach the arms. I could almost leave the combiner kibble, or yeah, leave the Safari Gao's. Oh no, I don't know until I get the head component on. That's a very snug fit right there. You know what? I'm gonna fold that out beforehand. So just take these two components, or these two panels, and flip them up. And so Sorry about that. So aside from the horns, which I'm not entirely thrilled with, um, it's not bad. Okay, whatever. So the face is not bad. Face is not bad. Now here's the question: can I take the kibble and stick it on the back? And the answer is negative. Can I attach? Yeah, because ordinarily that's up and then no. Okay, so yeah, none of the accessories I can't. But on the other hand, you should be able to hold the muscles. So what did I say this was? This was the Cho Safari Gao. I think it's Cho Reshigate Cho Safari Gao is what this is. So, um, it has a better chest decoration. I'll say that. It has better melee potential. Absolutely. It actually is kind of neat. Slightly neat from the front. It's kind of imposing and it actually feels a bit heavier too. But the problem is again how narrow it is from the side. That's where it starts to screw. That's where it's like it's really wide, and that's all well and good, sort of. But those legs are so dumb. These things are so stupid. I don't know why I got this thing. Well, technically I got it because of Dieselo, and I was like, okay, I wonder what it would look like if we got Cho Safari Gao going. So, or would it be Chu Safari Gao? Because later on you have the was it Cho 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 Tokyo or no was it Cho Cho Bill? What's that one called? Cho Cho Tokyo Dio. If I was to get the build rusher, which I'm still kind of torn on. So if I was to get the build Dio, it would be the Cho Cho Safari Dio, right? Yeah, Cho Cho Safari Dio. So like if it's because like obviously they're trying to say choo choo. That's the pun. That's the joke. Even though they're using the word cho, which means super. So like, why did I bring that up? I forgot. I'm dumb. So yeah, yeah, it looks it's really thin. I mean that's the problem with it. It's so thin. Like even if you incorporate the oh, by the way, here's the Cho Safari Gao's ultimate finishing attack. And just which they actually used it in the show. They actually used this in the show one time. Cause Toq-Oh was entrapped somehow, and they're like, oh, we got to break these restraints, and they did this. They did this. I don't even. I don't even. So yeah. And it was red. It was fucking red. Come on. And then this. He's got a ponytail. Can you see it? Yeah, he's got a ponytail. Yay. Whatever, just which by the way you cannot do with either Toq-Oh or Safari Gao. You can't do that because when you attach the actual head, or when you flip that all the way around, it secures this a little better. But yeah, in any event, you can actually make a. Is that right? Yeah, you can kind of cheat a ponytail on it. I don't know, makes a very nice counterbalance. You got these two huge cannons, but what are these Cho-Ho? Oh, please tell me these are called Cho-Ho. Please, I need to look this up. Please tell me those cannons are called Cho-Ho. Please, Cho Tokyo cannons. So I guess it'd be Cho Safari cannons. Yeah, I guess it would be Cho Safari cannons. It's just if we're to follow the naming convention. Oh, I was hoping they were called Cho-Ho because Cho is super and Ho is like a cannon or a buster or whatever it is. So they'd be super cannons, Cho-Ho. Oh, I wish it had been Cho-Ho. They probably knew that, and that's why they call it. Yeah, they're called Tokyo Cannon. So, or they're called Safari Cannon in this case. Its finishing attack is the Cho Safari Ga-Oh full burst finish, where Cho Safari Ga-Oh fires energy manifestations of the Russia that comprise it at the opponent. All they could have worded fires energy manifestations of the Russia that comprise it at the opponent, all fired from several points on the mecha's body: shoulder cannons, arms, legs, attachments, red Russia. According to the conductor, Toq-Oh was not part of the original plans for the Russia, therefore prolonged use can put strain and damage of the Russias. Prolonged use can put strain in. Yeah, they could have worded that a little differently. So it totally does the spirit animal projection thing with this thing. Now it doesn't say you can't do this. Oops. But I'm going to use the sword, which I totally can't remember the name of off the top of my head. And technically you can give it both brass knuckles, I guess. Brass knuckles? I guess, I don't know, brass claws, something like that. And a sword, or, which doubles as a gun. So you can totally get his Cho on. It's so wide. Like I'm not concerned about the width. It's the depth of the robo. That's where the problem is. It's so lanky. It's so. But on the other hand, I am the one who chose to get into this one, so I guess I got to pull it out here and compensate for the fact the top and the bottom are getting cut off. So yeah, I mean it's okay. It's fine. Whatever. Hey, can I fold up with the shoulder? No, I can't. Time to get your Macross on. Which this totally is, I should point out. Except not. Hey, let's use our imagination and have it look like the towers on the top of the SDF-1 Macross. I'm just saying. Although they tilt forward only slightly, like, no. No, they point forward. Fuck you. Ow. My finger got wedged between tabs. So there you go. Cho Safari Ga-Oh. Ava, is it fully compatible with the main Robo from the series? With the white, now it looks like it's wearing a vest of some kind. You know, that's it's not like buttoned in the front or whatever it is. But it looks like it's wearing a vest now. Is that just me? Is it you know, anybody? It looks like it's wearing a vest specifically because this is Safari Ga-Oh. Because like the way like if this was Cho Toq-Oh, if this was the regular Toq-Oh, I would not have noticed this, or I might have. I don't know. But that being the case, it looks like he's wearing a vest with cannons attached to it. Now it's not as obvious from the back, but yeah. And I should point out, also exclusive to Safari Ga-Oh, we got some nice gold accent, which adds to what the it was a Cho Safari Ga-Oh's head is already providing. Okay, and then you've got gold-colored claws, which complements even more the gold. There's the gold telegraph right up there. So you've already got some gold kind of sprinkled around all over the place, and it actually complements what's going on here. And it kind of ties it together. Like I said, it's a vest that's kind of tied together with this additional chest armor here, which is colored up with this and with the horns. So I guess that works. I guess technically this looks better. I remember mentioning previously that the Safari Ga-Oh, kind of the problem with it is it's all white from the front, so it kind of ruins the color palette or whatever it is, unless you like look at it from the side, which you totally don't want to do, by the way. You know, how ironic is it that aside from these cannons up here, the silhouette does not change at all from the side when you add on an entire second robot to this thing? I'm just saying the silhouette does not change except for these cannons. Think about that for a moment. That's how fucked up this thing is. So yeah, the color palette and the additional stuff here and here actually allows for kind of an interesting, you know, toy exclusive combined form kind of thing. Okay. I think I've kind of talked this thing to death. I don't know if the head of Cho Toq-Oh was supposed to be the same as, or the face. I mean, I don't think the face is supposed to be the same. And I'm not saying that like you couldn't take the helmet of Cho Toq-Oh and stick it on the top. That's not what I'm talking about. Because like deliberately making the face identical to imply that it's a giant helmet rather than an entire head replacement. I'm not certain. I'm inclined to say no. Because the eyes are green and the regular Toq-Oh's eyes are yellow. So, oh, what are the color of Oh, but here's the interesting part. Safari Ga-Oh's eyes are green. So it's kind of sort of the same thing. Obviously, it doesn't have that ring. Which can you guys tell me what the ring on Safari Ga-Oh's face is? I don't get the reference because it's like heavenly or something like that. I don't know. Because like the lion, the crest of the lion's head or whatever it is, it's sitting up there, is biting down and hanging onto the ring. So it's like, what does the ring represent? I don't know. But anyways, the faces are, they're not quite the same. So disregard. Probably not. Although I don't know how close Toq-Oh's head is to Safari Ga-Oh. I'm not certain. So. Or at least in terms of the face specifically, I'm not certain how close they are. Okay, shut up, Ava. You've been going for way too long. And the only thing you have to worry about is you can't even store the regular weapon. You can't store that on the back. And you can't have it hold it because, well, it's got the Safari Ga-Oh's claws right there. So you will have a little bit of leftover, but it's not like Tokuger was ever concerned about that ever. Like after this, it's like, oh god. And do I even need to bring up the what's it called? The Tokyo Rainbow. Do I even need to bring that up? And the answer is, well, I just did. So yeah, you're gonna have a little left over. No, it does not. It does not fit in back. It's supposed to, but the Cho Safari Ga-Oh's head, the new head, gets in the way. It blocks this. So no, you cannot attach it. Wait a minute. Yes, you can. Wait a minute. Yes, you can because that goes there. When it's just the Lion Russia, that attaches there. Okay, so we've added a little more unnecessary depth. We've added armor to the back, I guess. Although it's again, it's with the whole narrow profile thing we're talking about here. So yeah. Oh, oh, I just realized because that combiner kibble is now on the back and it's specifically designed to hold these things. I just realized you can, in fact, store the Lion Rush's or the Safari Ga-Oh's claws on the back. So you actually can store all the kibble from Safari Ga-Oh specifically. You just put it on the back. Should I even make a winged angel comparison here? I don't know if I can, but okay, all right. So you can store it, which means you can, in fact, have Cho Safari Ga-Oh holding its weapon and have all of its combiner accessories included in the whole thing. So technically, this is heavier than Cho Toq-Oh. I didn't even think of that till just now. and also gun. Okay, good to know. Just don't hang on to it because that's really loose. So it's unstable, I should say. Okay, that's actually good to know. So that's actually how I'm going to be storing this in the future. I'll just have it all combined together like this. Okay, I can live with that. They still fucked up the whole trains thing for Super Sentai. Just ugh. All right, and so with that, this is AV Unit 4A saying thank you very much for tuning in.